Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I as always am Riz and this is more Umamusume Cinderella Grey Core 2, not season, episode 17. If you are wondering currently where my reaction to episode 16 is, I released these both on the same day because I recorded them literally one after the other. So feel free to go check that out first, just in case your notifications were a little bit wonky or something. This one, since it just came out earlier today, as I'm recording this on Sunday, I was actually able to get it from It's Anime Powered by Remo. Apparently they only last like a week or so before they're made private, so I'll still link it in the description if you want to follow the exact video that I used in order to like make this reaction, since, you know, it is a timer reaction. But keep in mind that if it's already past that date, I found episode 16 on Amazon Prime Video, and it was free there because, you know, Prime Video, right? But that's all I know. So last episode, we had a lot of good introductions to the characters that are going to be participating in the Japan Cup, mostly focusing on the foreign Uma because, you know, we already were introduced to the Japan Uma. But like, you know, we have Ogre Cap, Tamamo Cross, and Gold City apparently joining the Japan Cup, you know, representing Japan, obviously. And then we have Moonlight Lunacy representing Britain. We have Tony Bianca representing Italy. We have Michelle My Baby and Obey Your Master representing America. And we have Ellerslie Pride, or Ellerslie, I think it's just Ellerslie Pride, representing New Zealand. So that's going to be interesting. They have a lot of G1 wins under their belt, a lot of races in general, so a lot of good experience. Tony Bianca apparently won the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, one of the like huge races in France that, like, if you're familiar with Pretty Derby, El Condor Pasa took part in. So that's really cool. But Obey Your Master notably has not won any G1 races. They made a little point of that, you know? However, they're putting a lot of focus on her as a character, both with like hiding her and then having like a bigger scene dedicated to her, including the ending of the episode. So I'm pretty sure that they're building up Obey Your Master to be someone to really watch out for in the Japan Cup. So that's going to be interesting to see. I was speculating last time that because Tamamo Cross and Ogre Cap are going to be in the Japan Cup, that Ogre will be too focused on Tama-chan because, you know, it's revenge time, right? For the Autumn Tenno show. And then like Obey Your Master is going to just surprise everyone, Uma and spectator alike. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because it's, you know, these are based on IRL events, right? So, you know, they can't, I guess technically they could fudge race records, and they have a little bit in the past, but from my understanding, when they did fudge race records in the past, it was more for the sake of like honoring that Uma or that horse in real life, right? It's not just for the sake of like the drama of it, which I really appreciate, just the way that this series handles all of that. So yeah, last episode, a lot of good introductions and a lot of cute moments. If you haven't watched that, I mean, again, you should be watching all of these episodes in advance, especially considering that these are timer reactions. Like, I have tried to provide subtitles and even edit the subtitles to actually include the character who's speaking it so that you have some context. But if this is like your first exposure to the episode, you're not going to get the best experience. I'd highly recommend finding it through some means. Again, Amazon Prime Video should offer it. Maybe, depending on how far in the future you're watching, either the It's Anime Powered by Remo channel has it, or maybe you could even find it on like Crunchyroll or some other streaming service. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to get into the Japan Cup this time. I'm thinking, knowing the pace of the show overall, I think that we are. Because it's almost surprising that we didn't have a race last time, just because most episodes do have one. I mean, I think Cinderella Grey honestly is one of the exceptions. I think that was more common in like the Pretty Derby seasons to have like a race per episode of some sort at least. But I think that we will have the Japan Cup. If not this episode, then like definitely the next. Because I think that one of the characters even remarked that the Japan Cup, I want to say Tony Bianca did, could be wrong, that the Japan Cup was in like 3 days from that moment. And we're saying that at least a day has passed since then. So either we have a full episode with those 2 days, which is certainly possible, or we're actually going to see the Japan Cup, which might even itself be split. You know, there might be a cliffhanger. It's not often we run into cliffhangers in this series, but it has happened. So who knows? But I'm looking forward to getting started with this episode. So with that, let's get to it. November 27th. Man, I wish I knew the exact date the Japan Cup took place, but I don't. I don't imagine she would be doing a lot of training, though, day of. I know, she was impossibly strong, Oguri. Very focused on her goal. Okay, so it is a day. November 27th, Japan Cup. All right, and we're on the intro. I also do think it's interesting how in Umamusume Pretty Derby, right, all 3 seasons, it's the voice actor or voice actors singing the opening. And then with Cinderella Grey, both with this opening and the previous one, clearly not, right? And I wonder if that's all in an effort to make it more like a mainstream anime, just in the sense that I think the VA sung ones, it targets a certain demographic a little bit more. You know, those who are like fans of the idol or the slice of life genre a little bit more. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not super versed in anime, but that's just my thinking. But it also might help put it a little bit more into a certain time frame, because this takes place in like the 1980s, right? And I wonder if you're more likely to have anime openings with that. Like, part of this made me think of like the Naruto Shippuden opening, which is not 1980s, but just that kind of thought. Hey, that's Obey Your Master's trainer. Hmm? It's like champions meeting. It's like, all right, Tokyo race course, 2,400 meters, firm, sunny. Fall runner. Mm-hmm. She's had enough. Poor girl. Who? I can't read what's on her phone. She wants to front run. That was Tama's whole thing. She said it was about positioning at that point because their final spurts were like, you know, equivalent. Tama pulled it off last time, but I agree. Like, I brought this up in the last reaction too, where it's like interesting to change up a style on such an important race. Okay, pace chasing, not front running. Gotcha. We'll never know. No, we'll know soon enough. Ah, yeah. Just, yeah, Japan Cup. Here we go, you know. Bulldoze her way to glory. We can hope. That would be quite the upset, but I wouldn't expect it. This show has wonderful eyes. I'll just say that again. Good, glad. Sorry, she's American. Americans don't understand personal space. If Obey Your Master doesn't do well, it's gonna be so weird. Find out. Also, Obey Your Master bringing up like an underdog story, as if that doesn't also sell in America. Nice. No interviews, huh? I mean, you could have just scheduled around that, but fair enough. In the same year. All the glowing eyes. We love you, White Lightning. Yeah, I also don't know, Tama. We'll find out. Yeah, I love them. They're so fun. Also cute that it's still like Tama and Ogrin name-wise, nickname-wise, right? Aw. Oh, okay, yeah, good way to spin that. Serious face. For a serious race, makes sense. Okay. Yup. Come on, Oguri and Tama. Okay, as long as it returns with the race. Is Longlet free in this one? Cause just seeing again that she's in that, you know, commercial image. Yeah, she is. Okay. As long as she can pull it off, yeah. Third from last. I see. Very, very focused. Hey! Watch it! Now, is that a Michelle thing or is that an American thing? And you didn't bring this up to Oguri at all? It would be good to be aware of. Oh. Poor Oguri. I didn't know she was just gonna get beat up. They are very close. Ooh, ooh. Like her accident from before. And with Tamamo being so small, too. Yeah, Tamamo was awesome. Oh, she's so tired. Now, it's whenever they have Americans speaking English that it sounds weird. Come on, Creek's busy. That's where people are, though. Yeah, a little bit. Apparently, none of them were warned. That's obey your master. Focus! Oh no. Poor Ogre. I don't think it was the style. I think it was just Michelle. Yeah, that's what I think the big kicker was. I think it's unfair to judge the style based on that. I mean, yeah, but she's exhausted. Oh, I had already forgotten, that's true. Ooh. All rainbowy. Oh, we got the hype race music going. Do it. Yes? Not gonna be interrupted or anything? It's like maybe, but entering the zone with no build-up makes it seem like something else is gonna... Yeah. That's not who I wanted to see. So you're really telling me that Miss I'm gonna wave and talk to you comically during the middle of the race is really taking it so seriously that she's going to break through her limits? I don't know. Cause I'm torn. Cause it's one thing to just have them be really strong, you know? But I just feel like entering the zone and like breaking through your limits, like we've seen it happen twice, right? There was the brief flashback where we saw Simply Rudolph do that. And then there was the absolutely epic moment in the Autumn Tenno show where we see Tamamo Cross do that. And in both cases, you can see that they're just like racing for their lives, you know? They're putting everything they have into it. It looks like they feel like it's the end, and they have to push themselves and convince themselves that it's not the end. And they have to keep going. They have to keep pushing, and that's what lets them break through the glass there, right? But like, we didn't see that from Obey Your Master. And it's like, even if we do end up, like maybe we'll jump back a little bit to earlier in the race and we'll see more from her, and we do get to see some exhaustion and some desperation, that kind of thing. But I don't know, just with what we saw earlier, like if we did see that, it would make more sense to me for like pushing through, breaking through the limit, right? But it would make less sense for how she was just moments earlier with like joking around with Tamamo. And yes, I do imagine that a lot of that was more just like psychological manipulation and intimidation and things, right? I do think there was some of that kind of warfare going on. But she did it so effortlessly that I don't think that she was actually like doing that while also at the brink of exhaustion, etc., etc. So I don't know. The issue that I have with this is that, again, it's perfectly fine for Obey Your Master to win if that's what ends up happening. It's perfectly fine for her to just be really good and surprise everyone, despite not having a G1 win at this point in time. But what I'm afraid of is that if we're actually going to say that, oh yeah, Obey Your Master also entered the zone and pushed through the glass, like broke through her limits, right? And entered that like really prestigious thing that like Mr. CB, Maruzensky, Simply Rudolph, and now Tamamo Cross, right? Have entered just based on Core 1, right? It just seems like it's going to cheapen that if we have Obey Your Master also suddenly doing it with seemingly no work put in to do so. And is that, if that's the case, is that supposed to be what this is kind of commentary on? Because Obey Your Master had that little thought or that little interaction with Tamamo in the tunnel about like, underdogs in Japan, and is that what sells it? Because it doesn't seem like Obey Your Master here is the underdog, outside of just having not any G1s, but like she's done nothing but exude confidence so far. And so I don't have any of that real underdog like feel from it. I didn't get that. Again, literally aside from just the lack of G1 wins. So I don't know. The race though, like the rest of the episode in the race I liked, and like it's like darn these foreign Uma for being all roughhousey. And why would the trainers not? The only reason, here's the thing, the only reason the trainers did not bring that up to their trainees, right, to like Oguri, to Tamamo, was just so we as the viewers would not have that reveal until the race as well, because Musaka clearly knew that, right? And are you going to tell me like, oh, I forgot to mention? Like, really? Because that seems pretty important for this really, really important and prestigious race that they're about to enter. Especially considering you know how much this means to Oguri. Yeah, so that part. But it's cool to see another, like, difficulty entering a race. Or introduced to a race, I should say. Because, you know, we've had other things. I mean, watching Cinderella Grey Cour 1, you know, it's some of the races fell more flat for me than others. Like I love the show. But it's not wrong to say that like some races I was more invested in than others, or that like I questioned some of the like little twists in the race more than I did for others. Because sometimes it's like, I can't go on the inside, I can't go on the outside, I'll just have to go on the far outside. It's like, all right, I mean, I kind of was thinking that was the outside as well, but fair enough. And then there was another one that was very similar, but it's like, all right, then I'll just like slow myself down, pace myself for this, you know. So they've introduced other difficulties in the races, with I think some of them being more engaging than others. And this one was a breath of fresh air. It makes me upset again with like the trainers and the foreign Umamusume, but it's still new and it is exciting. It adds that element to it. So yeah, I liked that part. And then, you know, cool to see the other background Umamusume, or like Umamusume rather, in the background commentating, or also just watching the race, I suppose. But yeah, really the only issue that I have with this episode is the idea that Obey Your Master is effortlessly breaking through her limits, because I feel like that's contradictory. Like it's kind of a paradox of a sort, you know? It's like you cannot effortlessly push through all of your like efforts, or you know what I mean? Like it's the whole point of it is that you reach like the end of what you think you're actually capable of, and then you blast through it anyway, and you realize that you're capable of so much more. So we'll see how the next episode like handles it, because right now I'm not convinced that I'm going to love how it'll play out. But you know, I love the series, and so I'm willing to give it that chance. And like if it doesn't work out, oh well, like I'm still gonna keep watching the rest of the season or the whatever. You know, it's not gonna make me turn it off. But it does seem to be one of, I think, the more questionable decisions that they've made within the narrative so far. But maybe that's just me, and maybe I have like a skewed perspective. Like, maybe I missed something, or I was thinking of something wrong, you know, like I just took something the wrong way. So if you have a different perspective on it, let me know in the comments. Or if you're like me and you're like, I'm not so sure where this is going, or I like where this is going, like, let me know too. Any other notes, feel free, like, let's talk in the comments. I think that would be cool. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about this episode, because we really did get into the race pretty quickly. And yeah, oh, I mean, the last thing that I'll say is I hope that like Musaka and Oguri, and yeah, I mean just people in general, but those are the two most important ones for this. I hope they don't actually take from this that pace chasing for her is bad, because I don't think that is actually the case. Is it different? Yes. Should this have been her first time, like her first race pace chasing? No. And she did mention that she'd done it before in Kasamatsu, which is true. But should she have had more recent experience pace chasing with more experienced racers? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that she's not fit for pace chasing. That doesn't mean that it as a running style doesn't suit her or is just bad in general. No, I think the bigger thing for the stamina was like, it's a distance that she is not familiar with. Again, she'd only run up to 2,000, I believe was what everyone was saying. I think so. And this was a 2,400 meter. And she was being like bullied by Michelle, my baby, which, you know, like it wasn't against the rules clearly. So it's just kind of a bummer. But I think that that's where the exhaustion really was. I don't think that it was because she was pace chasing. Was that a factor? Yes, but I think that it was the smaller of the two factors between that and just the foreign horses racing attitudes, you know, etiquette, right? So yeah, okay. I think I've said all I want to say. Let me know in the comments if you have anything that you want to say, etc., etc. I am looking forward to the next one. I mean, based on that, it seems like Obey Your Master is being set up to win. But that's also kind of okay. Okay, a little more to say, I guess, because if Obey Your Master does win, where do we go from there? Because she's just gonna head back to America, right? She's not gonna stick around and keep racing, and so. Are we just going to have it be a learning moment for the other Umamusume in some regard? Or is it just going to be a loss that they have to like sit with and come to accept? Because I just imagine that Obey Your Master and all the other, you know, foreign horses just went back to where they came from. I think they were just here for the Japan Cup International Invitation kind of thing, right? So if she does win, what does that mean for development? Interesting. Because I feel like they'd have to pretty quickly move on to, again, you have other stuff with like Super Krieg and Dicta Striker and presumably more Tamamo Cross at this point too, because it does not look like Oguri is going to pull out a win here. So, okay. It's interesting. I still currently stand by all the stuff about like the zone, right, with Obey Your Master, but I am genuinely curious for the rest of this. Just want to say again, this has not diminished my interest in this series at all. I can still find fault in like one moment or whatever, and then keep enjoying the rest. So don't worry, I'm not like, I haven't fallen out of it or anything, but yeah. Okay, now we're calling it here. Bye.